Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm doing another vlog, so I'm going to start the vlog off here. I am doing another episode of the reading new releases vlog because I've gotten a couple more holds in from the library. So for this vlog, I was planning on talking about When We Were Birds by Ayanna, Lloyd. I'm not going to remember her last name. I'm really sorry. It's like a Caribbean inspired fantasy. I'll have it listed down below. Unfortunately, my hold was only available for 2 weeks and it lapsed. And I read 3 chapters of it because I was in the middle of a bunch of other things that I need to finish for my April TBR. So I will not be talking about that in this vlog. I do have an audiobook hold on it still, and I'm going to put the ebook back on hold. I just don't know how long it'll take to get that, but I am hopeful that I can read that this year. I think it's one of those books that will be easier to read via audio because it is written in dialect. And if you've been around here for a while, you know that I have a hard time reading things in dialect because it takes me longer to read since the words are in less familiar tenses. So there's that. The other things that I'm going to be reading, let me go grab one. I am also going to be reading When You Get the Chance by Emma Lord, which came out I think in January. So I've never read any Emma Lord before. I've heard really good things. I think she also wrote Tweet Cute and You Have a Match. Yeah, those are her books. They're on the back. So I've heard really good things about Tweet Cute, especially from someone who said they didn't usually like YA contemporary romance, but they really liked that one. So I have high hopes. Look at Murphy just sitting on my couch back there. What a silly dog. But this is about a girl who I think wants to go on Broadway. So I'm going to read you the inside cover because it'll explain it better than I can. It says, nothing will get in the way of Millie Price's dream of becoming a Broadway star. Not her lovable but super introverted dad who has raised Millie alone since she was a baby. Not her drama club rival, Oliver, who is the very definition of simmering romantic tension, and not her Millie moods, the feelings of intense emotion that threaten to overwhelm. Millie needs an ally. And when an accidentally left open browser window brings Millie to her dad's embarrassingly moody live journal from 2003, Millie knows just what to do. Find her mom. So I guess she's going to go on a journey to find her mom. So this sounds like it's going to be less of a YA contemporary romance and more of a YA coming of age journey of self-discovery, which, as we all know, I enjoy a good bit. I did just read Ophelia After All in my last Reading New Releases vlog, and I absolutely loved it. So I have high hopes that I can enjoy this one as well. We also know, if you've been here, that I've been in a bit of a YA slump. So hopefully this does not disappoint me. I mean, I'm kind of expecting to give it 3 to 4 stars. 4 stars would be it was amazing. Not really, but I would be really excited if I give this 4 stars, and I will probably give it 3 stars. But I'm just going to be disappointed if it's less than 3. And I'll be excited if it's more than 4. So that's that. The other thing that I'm reading that I've actually already started, this is a very chaotic intro and I apologize for that. I'm listening to an audiobook of A Far Wilder Magic by Allison Saft, which is a standalone YA fantasy. And I'm enjoying it so far. I'm about 40% of the way in. So I've listened to a good bit of it. And it is essentially the premise of the book is that every year I don't know how often it happens, but there's this thing called the Half Moon Hunt. And one of the religions in this world, there's a lot of religious, religious intrigue or religion plays a really important part of this world. But we're in this town called Wickham. And it sounds like we're in this country, New Albia. I don't know what the country's called. But it essentially feels a lot like 1920s New York. So the big city would be New York City, and then they're out in the countryside somewhere, maybe in upstate or Pennsylvania or New Jersey or Connecticut, something like that around the 1920s, because they've described the dress style, which is drop waist and short hair and women smoking and underground bars and all of that is very 20s. So there's that. Also, the main guy character's name is Wes, and it doesn't help that the author or the narrator is doing specific accents for his mom being Irish. So it feels very much like he is an Irish immigrant, or his parents were Irish immigrants and he sort of grew up in this place that doesn't like Irish people, which again, 1920s US, but they're not called Irish. It's called something else, but it's very similar to that. Also, the main girl character, her mom was an alchemist. I'm not doing a very good job of explaining this, but I just thought it was interesting that the similarities between the 20s and it's clearly based on that, if that makes sense, which doesn't bother me. At first it kind of did, but I'm over it. I'm into it. It's fine. So there's a lot of religious tension in this book between like different sects of religions and different belief systems, which I think is really interesting. Although I will say, because the religions kind of mirror religions that we already know, like the Irish family is Catholic, but it's called something different. Everyone else is like kind of considered Protestant, or at least that's what it seems. There's like a main religion. The main religion in the U.S., especially during the 1920s, was like Protestantism. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just reading too much into it. The main girl, her dad is of a religious order that's different. And at first I thought maybe he was Jewish, which would explain like people are anti-Semitic in real life. People seem to be anti whatever he is in this book. But the way she pronounces words almost sound Arabic inspired. So I'm wondering if it's supposed to be like an Islam mirror. I don't know. I honestly think that I don't think Allison Saft was intending to mirror religions, because like the beliefs are not mirrored. It's just like the stereotypes about them are, if that makes sense. So not in a bad way. I feel like that sounds really negative, but it's not that negative. Anyways, now that I've explained that tension, the premise of the book is there's this fox that they believe is embodied by sort of like a demonic presence. In the Protestant type religion, I can't remember what the religions are called because I'm listening to it, so I apologize for that. But like the religion that most people are, they believe that this is like a demonic presence and it ruins things. And so on the half moon hunt, the half moon is the only time that you are able to kill it. And so there's this hunt and you win money if you kill it, and also like you get to keep the skin. And Maggie, the main character, is a sharpshooter. It's not called that, but she's got like a good aim, and every team for this hunt has to have an alchemist who can like alchemize. Why can I not speak today? Who can like alchemically make a weapon or like a bullet that can kill the fox, because normal bullets can't kill it for whatever reason, because it's magic. I don't know. So they have to like be able to alchemically change a bullet to be able to kill this fox. And then you have to have a sharpshooter who can shoot it. So it's teams of two. So that's why Maggie and Wes are like put together in this team. Originally, Wes goes to Maggie's house because her mom is a famous alchemist and he has run out of alchemists in the city. She lives like way out in the countryside, and he thinks this is his last chance to be trained as an alchemist. So he's not even a trained alchemist yet. He just wants to be. And Maggie knows that, but she wants to prove herself. She also, like, her dad died, or no, her brother died and her dad is missing or something. It's like kind of foggy what happened. But her mom goes on like these long excursions to like find different alchemical properties because she's trying to make the Philosopher's Stone or find the Philosopher's Stone. I'm not really sure. Yeah. And so Maggie's really sad that her mom's gone all the time, and she wants her mom to like love her and come back to her, and she wants to be a family basically. So I'm enjoying it. So I feel like a lot of things that I've said, it sounds like I don't really understand the plot. And I think part of that is that the world building in this book is pretty weak for me. It relies heavily on you like being able to mirror things to the real world, I feel. Whether that was intentional or not, I don't know, but it seems pretty obvious to me that the author was mirroring certain things on parts of real life. And I don't feel like she has done that good of a job of like making clear what the magical things are, if that makes sense. So she tries to like describe things you can do with alchemy. So like you can give like fur, like a fur coat. They were talking about this fur coat that they have. You can like give it the shininess of diamonds, or you can give it like they called it like the rain slicking property of petroleum. So like make it waterproof. All of these things with alchemy, but she doesn't really explain how that happens. And maybe other people just know how alchemy is supposed to work because it's like a classic magic system type thing. I don't understand it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Middle Game is one of my favorite books of all time. I still don't understand how alchemy works. I don't get it. Is it real? Maybe. I don't know. So, all of that being said, I'm about to film my bullet journal video. This has been such a long update. I'm about to film my bullet journal video, which is hopefully going to be the last video that goes up in April. If not, it'll be the first video that goes up in May. We all know that I've been doing one video a week recently because I just don't have time to film and edit things, which is why I'm trying to do more vlogs, because then, you know, the filming happens over the course of my life, and then I just edit it all together, and usually it's pretty quick. This one's going to be a pain in the ass, though, I can already tell, but it is what it is. I will let you know when I have another update. I might finish this book, honestly, while I'm working on my bullet journal, because I'm planning on just listening to it while I film that. But I'll link that video if you want to watch it. I have a feeling it's going to be an interesting one because I just have a feeling about it. But all right, I will get back to you in a bit. Hello, friends. It's now Monday in May. At some point, I started this in April. It's now May. And I needed to update this vlog. Hey Murph, you want to sit with me? Okay, great. So I did finish Far Wilder Magic. I gave a complete review of it in my April wrap up, so I will link that for you in case you want to watch it. Is it over here? Yeah, it'll be over here. I always forget what side it's on, I think, right? I did finish Far Wilder Magic. I ended up giving it 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. I had a really good time reading it. It was super fun, super cute. I really was rooting for the romantic element in the book. It's not super heavy in the romance, but I liked the way that it went. I also really liked the way that it explored familial relationships, and just the like juxtaposition between Wes and his family's relationship and Maggie and her relationship with her mother. I thought it was a good book. I had a good time reading it. I would recommend it. Now I am reading When You Get the Chance by Emma Lord, which is a YA contemporary about this girl Millie who is really into musical theater. She was raised by her father in New York, and her mother dumped her on her father's doorstep when she was a baby, and he was, I think, 20 or 21. And so he's just been raising her this whole time. And at the beginning of the book, she gets into this program for musical theater in Los Angeles, and it's a pre-college program, so she gets to go there for a year, kind of like a boarding high school. And she didn't tell her dad she was auditioning for it or applying to it. And she only tells him when she gets in. And then he says, basically, no, you can't go. And so now she's trying to find her mother, her birth mom. Not super clear why. I assume because, stop looking at that, please. I assume it's because she wants parental permission. And also she wants to find her mom. And she and like her best friend Teddy found her dad's old, it's called something, like a live journal maybe, but basically it's like Tumblr before Tumblr was a thing, or like MySpace kind of. And her dad made all these journal entries in the months when she knows she was conceived around that time. And he talks about 3 different women. So it's literally Mamma Mia. It's the plot of Mamma Mia, except it's gender swapped, which is a cute idea. But my thing with Mamma Mia is all of the dads thought they could be the girl's dad because you don't know who you can't tell who your dad is necessarily. But, like, her mother carried her and gave birth to her, so she knows she's her mom. So that part's a little lackluster for me. They're not really acknowledging that at this point. But where I'm at in this book, I'm only like 60 pages in, and she's already met 2 of the potential moms just around New York City. There's also, I know, a romantic element between her and her like high school nemesis, who's like a stage manager in the musical theater department at her high school. So I think that ends up being a hate to love thing. It's not super important to the story, it doesn't seem, but that element I think is in here. So I'm liking this. It's not anything like spectacular, but it is like really touching just seeing someone. I mean, I always find it very touching when someone is trying to like contact their birth parent and sort of figure out their past history, because like, I don't know. It's a feeling that I am not familiar with personally, but I know people who were either adopted or did not know one of their parents, and it impacts you. So I do like the concept. I just think it's like, I don't know, a little bit of a stretch. So I'm enjoying this one. It's cute. It's not like the best thing I've ever read, but I think I will enjoy it. It'll at least be a 3-star probably, unless it gets bad. And that's about how I feel about YA contemporary usually these days. So the other book that I am currently reading, I have an ebook copy of it, and it is Devil House by John Darnielle. And this one and Devil House both came out, I think, in January of this year. So they've both been out a while. I've had both of them on hold for my library for a while, but I finally got an ebook copy of Devil House. And it's So it's a novel, and it's about this guy who is a true crime author in the early 2000s, late 90s. And he's purchased this home where these murders occurred in the 80s, and the house has been vacant since the murders. And part of his process for writing a new book is like going to the scene of the crime and like figuring stuff out. So it's kind of like reading his notes for the book that he's gonna write, except for it's in novel format, if that makes sense. He's in the future, or like the present time for him, and he's going back in the past and telling you about his process and what he did when he bought this house and how he got the story and like the steps he took, if that makes sense. But it is in novel form. I'm enjoying it. There are no horror elements as of yet, but I'm probably like 50 pages into it, so I'm really not that far. I think it's a 400-page book, and I imagine that weird shit is going to start happening in the house, but I don't really know. I've never read anything by John Darnielle before. He, if you don't know, is the guy who performs under the stage name The Mountain Goats. I think sometimes there's a whole band with him, but it's his project, and I saw them live last year at some point. Which was great. It was just him, but it was amazing. And I have one of his other books called Universal Harvester that I have not read, but Matt got me for Christmas. So I do need to read that at some point as well. But Devil House is a new release, and I wanted to read it this year. It's on my list of books that I want to read that are 2022 releases. So I don't have too many thoughts on that one yet. I started it when I was at my boyfriend's parents' house this weekend. His sister graduated from college, so we went down and stayed with his parents because they live like 30 minutes away from where she went to college, and we went to her graduation. Super fun. My graduation is this weekend, which is crazy. I have 2 more finals, and then I'm done with law school, and I just have to start studying for the bar. But before I start studying for the bar, we're going to Seattle. So I'm probably going to do like a food vlog of things I eat in Seattle, maybe stuff I do. It'll be like a B-roll vlog probably. All of that being said, I need to finish Devil House because I think it automatically returns in like 4 days. And I don't want to lose another hold. I think I mentioned at the beginning of this vlog, I lost a hold for a book called When We Were Birds. That was an ebook. I have a really hard time reading ebooks recently. I don't know what it is. I used to read through ebooks so quickly because I could just have them on my phone and I would just read everywhere I went. But I'm back on my like listening to audiobooks at all times. So I'm not really reading ebooks when I'm like out and about and listening to something. I'm gonna try to read some more of this ebook, and maybe I'll come back to you when I'm like 50% of the way through and let you know how it goes. Same for this. If I get 50% of the way through this, I will come back to you and let you know. I read the first 60 pages of it. I read the first 62 pages of it last night. Super quick read. It's YA contemporary, so it's not too complicated. And then the Devil House is actually, I really like the style that it's written in. Did you hear my dog just burp? Is that okay? Are you all right? He burps like a grown man. It's bizarre. It's a dog, but I don't know. So I'm liking the way that Devil House is written. There's not much of a like plot to be told yet. We haven't really even found out that much about the crime. We just know that it was like actually in a video store that turned into a store that only sold like adult films. And people were like squatting in it. Unclear why. So I imagine we'll find out more about that as we go along. But I'm liking it. I just don't know anything about it really yet. So, but the vibes are there. But that's it for this update. Again, it was a super long one. So I will catch you when I have some more news or I'm 50% of the way through one of these books. Sorry to be doing another vlog update laying down. I did this in my last vlog. Let me try to position myself differently. Okay. So I finished my last final today, which is why I'm laying down on my couch. And I also finished Devil House by John Darnielle, and I gave it 2 stars. So I do think that it's miscategorized as horror on Goodreads. It's much more of a like cautionary tale about a true crime writer who is like struggling with the effect of his craft. And for that, I think it brought up a lot of interesting points. But for me, it switched perspectives too much. Like it ends, we are usually following Gage Chandler, who is this true crime writer. And then the last section is from the perspective of Gage Chandler's childhood friend, who Gage like reconnects with, but it's from first person. So the childhood friend is not named, which is fine. But it's just like, that happens. And then parts of it are written in second person to different people from previous true crime books this author has read or written, excuse me. And it's a lot more like I don't know, it feels very much like a reconciliation with past things that he's done. I did like a lot of the lines that are specifically about like what kinds of stories we want to tell and who gets to tell their story, because Gage Chandler's thing, like the character in the book, his thing is that he likes to tell the story of the perpetrator and like humanize them a little bit and bring them down from like their mythologized states and make them back into people instead of monsters, which I think there is value to that. But he's struggling because he gets contacted by one of the mothers of a victim from a case that he already wrote a book about. And so we get him like talking to that mother, but as if the reader was that mother. But we also get him talking to the perpetrator of that crime as if we are the perpetrator of that crime, which it was interesting. I've never really read anything like this book. I just felt like it was a little, I don't know, like clumsy, I guess. And there are also whole sections where he's like trying to make a metaphor about like knights and kings, etc. And that just didn't appeal to me as a reader. And then the last thing I'll say is I felt like it was a very lackluster crime, which I think was the point, but I wish this book had been marketed more as like a discovery or a journey for the author of these, like the main character of the book, who is this true crime author, than it actually ended up being. So 2 stars for that one. I'm very disappointed, but I think I'm going to try to finish or try to read more of, what is it called? I don't know what it's called, the young adult book that I'm reading right now. And I will let you know, hopefully when I'm 50% of the way through that. The reason I didn't give a 50% update with Devil House is because I realized yesterday that my loan was going to expire if I didn't like read all of it yesterday and today. So in between studying, I've just been like binge reading it, which also, I don't know. I didn't want to take it slower though, so that's fine. That's it. That's my final comment. I will let you know when I'm farther along in the book I'm reading. Hello, it is officially time to close out this vlog. So I finished the last book in this vlog, which was When You Get the Chance by Emma Lloyd, while I was in Seattle last week. I will have a Seattle vlog upcoming. I didn't do a great job of vlogging, but I vlogged a lot of B-roll, or a good amount of B-roll of that trip. So I'm going to make a full vlog for that as a separate video, and that'll be up probably next month. I'm in the middle of bar prep right now, so that'll be the next couple of months. I don't know how consistent I'm going to be. I haven't been very consistent lately anyways, but I did want to just wrap this vlog up because I finished that book. I ended up giving it 4 stars, I think. I think it was a 3.5 that I rounded up to 4. So this whole vlog has been pretty mixed. A Far Wilder Magic by Allison Saft, I gave 5 stars. Devil House by John Darnielle, I think I gave 2.5 stars and rounded that up to 3 on Goodreads. And When You Get the Chance by Emma Lloyd, I gave 3.5 stars and rounded it up to 4 on Goodreads. I don't know why. Sometimes I give half stars and sometimes I don't, but it is what it is. I think the last thing I mentioned about When You Get the Chance was that it was like I didn't understand how the Mamma Mia thing was going to work with the mom instead of the dad, because like as soon as you announce that that's what you're doing, one of the women would know, like, I'm your mom. So it did end up working out and like diverging, splitting from that like plot line, but it was cute, you know. I liked Millie as a character. I enjoyed the little bit of hate to love romance between Millie and Oliver, the guy who she's like competing for an internship with. I liked the concept of her looking for her mom. There were a couple of things where like, so she lived with her dad and her aunt, and her Aunt Heather finds out that she's been trying to track down her mom. Like the reaction that her aunt had to her wanting to know who her mom was was very like, am I not good enough for you? I am basically your mother. And like, she kind of made Millie feel bad about wanting to know who her mom was, which I don't think that's unreasonable to want to know, personally. Especially when like a lot of other people in your life know and they're just not telling you. I don't understand why they just wouldn't tell her. But that's just a separate thing. I guess I'm not adopted or like unaware of either of my biological parents. Like I grew up with my biological parents, so maybe it's something that like seems really normal or like reasonable to me, but maybe if I was in that situation I would get why it's not. I don't know. So that's that. Thank you for watching this vlog. If you made it to this point, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Maybe comment something pink when you get the chance at a pink cover. So comment something pink in the comments, like a pink emoji or something. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it, and I will see you in another video soon, hopefully. Bye.